What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip with another Donbrothers video. So, in a previous one that I have posted, probably link in the description. So, if you guys need more context for this video, I highly recommend that you watch that video first. So, again, down in the description, so you can check it out. But make sure you watch Donbrothers episode 8 first. So I guess there could be some spoilers, but definitely watch it. So again, you'd also get the full context of what I'm going to talk about in this video. So with that said, let's move on. Now, this is going to be rather a focus on a Kiji brother, aka Tsuyoshi Kijino. So, as I've mentioned in the previous one, he already exhibits some characteristics that are negative. He has a dark personality, so to say. But, you know, at first glance, your first impression of Kiji Brother would be that he's either going to be a comic relief, which at times he really does show how funny he is, or at least he gets himself into comical situations, but underneath lies a character that brings a lot of darkness into the Don Brothers team, which is interesting because we do have uh you know our quote unquote main antagonists, the Noto, but things aren't as black and white as it seems in Dawn Brothers. Now, okay, so to get the full context, probably, or to summarize rather, in episode 8, especially towards the end of the episode, we see Tsuyoshi having breakfast with his wife. And because Miho was kidnapped earlier in that episode, by the guy who would apparently turn into the monster of the week. So at the end of the episode, Tsuyoshi says that people like him, or that guy took Miho. People like him should not be allowed to exist in this world. And as he says that, at least in his internal monologue, so the curtains, or their curtains, are blown, right? Because the window was open. So again, the curtains blow, which causes the curtains to shadow, you know, which causes the curtains to cast a shadow over Tsuyoshi as he says that part, symbolizing again a darker personality lying beneath uh, his rather you know peaceful exterior. Because, like I mentioned earlier, you would probably see uh, Tsuyoshi as rather the comic relief, or someone who would probably convince the team to, be nice. But with that said, this interesting twist, right, makes me want to watch Dawn Brothers even further. And I actually have, some crazy ideas that I would like to present in this video as well. Now, the first thought that I had, especially when making the previous video, is that Tsuyoshi Kijino may actually be very, very, very similar to Masato Kusaka from Kamen Rider Faiz. Now, how can I say this? Well, take note that the writer for both Dawn Brothers and Kamen Rider Faiz is Toshiki Inoue. So having written Kamen Rider Faiz, I think he may also bring some of the ideas that he applied into Dawn Brothers. So if you have seen Kamen Rider Faiz, you probably know who Masato Kusaka is. If you guys haven't, just in case there are people here who haven't seen Kamen Rider Faiz, so Masato Kusaka is supposedly the secondary writer of the show as Kamen Rider Kaiza. Now, when we think of secondary Kamen Riders, they typically work alongside the main writer. For example, Kamen Rider Faiz in that instance. However, in the history of the Kamen Rider franchise, Kaiza, especially in Masato's hands, because it had changed users, from time to time, but he's basically the main user of the Kaiza belt. You know, Kamen Rider Kaiza, specifically Masato Kusaka, is rather closer to a villain than a hero with his actions and especially his interactions with the main writer. So how is Tsuyoshi Kijino similar to Masato Kusaka? Now, surprisingly, you would see Tsuyoshi as this nice guy, right? However, with uh, the kind of mindset that he had during the end of episode 8, so you know he's going to do anything and everything to protect his wife, no matter who stands in the way. So if it means, the other Dawn brothers hurt Miho, he is definitely going to do something to stop them, or rather, destroy them if necessary. It's dark, but considering again that scenario, it's now possible. That possibility is now open, at least. So again, go comparing that to Masato Kusaka from Kamen Rider Faiz. So, in order to protect Mari Sonoda, the show's main heroine, so he is going to do everything to protect her. So he, uh, of course, destroys the orphanage because they usually cause her harm, but he also attacks Takumi, basically seeing her or seeing him rather as a threat or a potential rival. And again, anyone who he sees as a rival for Mari's attention, he will eliminate. So now, moving back to Kiji brother, right? Tsuyoshi Kijino. So we have this potential uh, plot, especially involving Inu brother. Uh, Coincidentally, Inu brother and Takumi Inui also have some similarities, at least at face value, because uh, Tsubasa, aka Inu brother, transforms into a dog, and Takumi, at least in his orphanot form, transforms into a wolf, and they both have Inu in their names, or at least the Inu brother has when, or yeah, Inuzuka, Inui, yeah, they have Inu in their names. By the way, so well, I guess there are more similarities, probably. Excuse me, but those are just some that I can mention. So in episode 8, so we see it is possible that Tsubasa's girlfriend, Natsumi, and Tsuyoshi's wife, Miho, are the same person. So there's no proof or evidence of that yet, but a lot of scenes in episode 8 of Dawn Brothers point to that direction. So, what happens if, you know, uh, they actually found out that Miho and Natsumi are the same person? So, there's definitely going to be a rift between them, and there's definitely going to be a strong rivalry. So, who gets to keep Miho or Natsumi? But uh, there is that question. So why would she change her name from Natsumi to Miho? Now, I may have a theory for that coming up as well. But let's, you know, I'm going to get to that a bit later in this video. So, like I've said, uh, this could cause a rift between Inu brother and Kiji brother, and this could potentially affect the dynamic of the Don Brothers team, especially in a negative way, right? Now, with that mystery of Kiji brother and Inu brothers potential uh, for the story, so I'm going to focus on Miho or Natsumi, whoever she is, right? Now, let's move into the theories part. Now, in episode 8, so Miho was kidnapped, but she was actually able to fend off her kidnapper by using, self defense. Uh, she was able to take him down. Just enough for her to tie that kidnapper with his own hair, which is genius. But you wouldn't expect, probably at first glance, that Miho knows how to defend herself. So what happened here, and what is behind that story, right? So why, if Miho and Natsumi are the same person, then what happened? Now, this is probably going to be a crazy theory. It's up to you to believe it or not. But my crazy theory is this: Kiji brother, aka Tsuyoshi, at least him, right? He knows that Natsumi and Miho are the same. And he's just not talking about it. But why and how? So, how did they end up together? So, maybe they have met at some point, and of course Tsuyoshi probably would have fallen in love with Miho or Natsumi at first sight, perhaps, but seeing her with Tsubasa, right, made him jealous. Again, if we are correct in assuming that the Kiji brother is actually very much like Kaiza in that regard, so Tsuyoshi may have done something to orchestrate uh, whatever it is, or whatever crime Tsubasa got involved in, or at least whatever kind of crime he was framed for, and Natsumi told him to run away. So for that 1 year, but within that 1 year, what happened? So why did she end up marrying Tsuyoshi if that was the case? Now, probably uh, Tsuyoshi may have done something to alter her memories, whatever it may be. I don't know yet. But let's say that she has amnesia, or we can assume that she has amnesia, but you know they're not talking about it, right? If ever Miho does have amnesia, we don't know yet. But let's say she or she was rather forced to. Another probable thing that could have happened is that Tsuyoshi forced her to change into Miho? We don't know yet, but uh, or at least when she was forced to change her identity, she doesn't know that it was Tsuyoshi who caused it. But again, uh, because this is a just an insane theory, again, it's up to you guys to believe. But basically, what I'm trying to say is Tsuyoshi had a big plan, right, to eliminate Tsubasa from Natsumi's life, forced Natsumi, maybe again in some way or another, to uh, throw away her identity, and thus she was forced to assume the name of Miho, and eventually she ended up marrying Tsuyoshi. So again, uh, this is probably a big twist that could come out later in the show, but given that, again, this is written by Toshiki Inoue, right? Uh, Things like this are going to be possible. So let me know in the comments if my theory is too much, or if you have your own ideas. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's it for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like, comment. Again, let me know what you think of Kiji brother in particular. Is he going to be very much like Kamen Rider Kaiza? So let me know in the comments. And of course, share this video. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.